Young guy's done a lot of. I gotta tip my hat to him. The guy's got a lot of energy. He puts a lot of work into this. Mr. Alex Jones.
You know, I'm not even really here to speak to you guys. Almost all of you, I'm sure, probably know more about this than I do. We read about the worldwide convictions of UN so-called peacekeeping forces cutting the heads off little children. We see the butchery, the manipulation of the world economy. We see the IMF go into Russia and South Korea and tell them to quadruple their taxes because that's a free market reform. We see our local police coming more and more under federal control. We see the so-called anti-terrorism training going on in all the cities, the police girding themselves in black with ski masks. You know what I have to say to you. Get ready, because this is history. It repeats itself. Look at this century alone. Now, speaking to the law enforcement officers here, see, I have nothing to hide. I'm not a criminal. And I want them to know that. I want them to start going out and getting the child molesters and the murderers that we see in the back of the newspaper every week who are released to kill and kill and kill. They just found Colleen Reed's body a couple weeks ago. But they'll put you in jail, and I don't even smoke marijuana, but they'll put you in jail for just a little bitty bag of marijuana, but let out some murderer. Now give me a break. They want to pack the prisons with nonviolent people, and then they turn loose just incredible hordes of criminals to run wild, and that is the Hegelian principle. You create a crisis, you create fear, you offer a solution. Now the reason I've been on my crusade for 4 years now is because I hate bullies, and I hate people that are dumbing down our civilization. And that's the facts. Look at the test scores. I hate the IRS. To these law enforcement officers here, they can't go out and arrest somebody, at least not yet, and I know they don't want to, unless they have probable cause. And then they can't convict them unless they've been proven guilty. You see, in America, it's different from Germany and Russia and China, with all the dictators they've had. The difference is you're innocent until proven guilty. But with the IRS, you're not innocent until proven guilty. And some of these police officers have skulls that are so thick, they take these criminal orders. They put in the Bell Lab thumb scanners and scan us like cattle. And they're so thick-skulled, they don't see the commercials on TV by Lockheed and by Visa talking about doing it to buy and sell and to cash checks. Wake up! These cameras aren't for the criminals on the street corners. These thumb scanners aren't for the criminals or the so-called illegal aliens. It's all to control us, the slaves, the serfs, the feudal system. The average American pays 62% in some form of tax. Serfs in ancient Europe only paid 20%. And you know, the government likes to say, and city planners like to say, that big government gave us these structures. No, it was the men and women that laid the mortar. It was the people that laid the asphalt. It's the people that work in the plants, the automobile plants, the power plants, which is all being shipped overseas. They're shutting down this nation. And they can make their jokes. I challenge these law enforcement officers to go to Walmart or any other store. 95% of the items are from out of this nation, from India, from China, from you name it. And that's a fact. That's a concrete fact. What are we supposed to fight the next war with? Wendy's hamburgers? We gonna throw hamburgers at them? And you gotta ask yourself, why is this happening to our country? Because we're America. We stood up to Adolf Hitler. We stood up to Stalin. We stood up to the British Empire and kicked their butt back in 1776. And we're going to do it again, George Bush and Bill Clinton. You're nothing but British agents. Let's take Franklin Delano Roosevelt. It's in the history books that his family was the heroin runners for the British East India Company. Yeah, heroin used to be legal. DPS, get your history. You men are just like the stormtroopers back in Germany in 1933. Most of them were decent people. But as it got bigger and bigger, and as the power surged, and as the propaganda poured, by 1940, they were killing millions of people. Look at every other nation, from Africa to Central and South America, to China, to Cambodia, to Vietnam, to Eastern Europe. Death, death, death! You fools! You're all going to pay America! Come weak! And you really down. Give me that bullhorn. Backup source. And I'm saying to people, the death threats to my person and my family and my friends and the harassment which we've documented now by the Tower Records, down at the Mueller Airport. I don't care. You see, the people that harass us, they're cowards, and they think it's going to bother us. It's not. It's only going to reaffirm our spirit of freedom to stand up for our nation and not to let what we know is correct be washed away. That's what I'm here to talk about today. Tomorrow there's a big gun rally. I hope all you come out, Jeff and everybody else. Because I want the law enforcement to know this. Starting next month, sir. Yes, starting next month, federal registering of all guns. Oh, they say they're only going to hold the records for 18 months. Kind of like in 1936 when they said the Social Security number would never be used for personal identification. It's incrementalism. They got the power, they just want more power. And make no mistake, they're enforcers, the law enforcement community, many of which are waking up, who are good people. We've got police officers here in the crowd. I have CIA agents on my radio program, FBI. What about Frederick Whitehurst, DPS, former head of the FBI crime lab? Came out and said the FBI manufactures evidence in every major case. When they go out and destroy the Murrow Federal Building, of course they got to manufacture some evidence. When they, it's not just me, it's the October 28th, 1993 New York Times. Sheikh Abdel Rahman, they gave those guys the bomb, helped them cook it, trained the driver. Why would they do this? Well, why would Hitler burn the Reichstag? To create fear, to create a crisis. And I see the police talking to themselves. They're probably talking about their wife back home and their kids, trying not to face the facts because they're cowards. The real men and women stood up a long time ago, and I count myself proud to be here with you today. Yes, long live the Constitution, God bless America, and death to the New World Order. We shall, we must, and we will prevail because we're willing to stand up against what's happening. Last thing I'm going to say is this. 2 weeks ago on CNN, they admitted that Marines, I have a lot of friends that are Marines, current and former, they've all been asked the 29 Palms questionnaire, would you fire on U.S. citizens? Well, I've got the video, and I've heard it many times, of mock gun confiscations going on in Hebron, Maryland, September 3rd and 4th. FEMA with secret military teams took over Philadelphia 4 weeks ago. Ali Philippus, chief of police in San Antonio, threw out the Delta Force, as most of you have seen on our television shows, the interview, for trying to bribe him. They shot into an all-night restaurant, a training exercise in Miami. They're hiring a bunch of sociopaths. The good people are getting out. It's time for us to stand up. Every one of you is an educator and a teacher. Now get out there and win this game. We have got to fight and stand up. It's not going to be easy. But I'll assure you this. We can, and we will, and we must prevail. Everybody ground around. Jeff Davis is fixing to burn this flag. And I want to say something to law enforcement. We love you guys. We just see you in the Atlanta strain, controlled by Comrade Clinton, and Reno, the Butcher and Waco. Hey, mind your way. Turn off it fast,
Surrender my nation from your global plantation.
Hey, Jeff, the camera. Cut the heart out. There you go. Somebody spread this. It's ready. Yeah, hold the other corner. Well, we stay to charity right here, brother.
We're gonna tell them we the people.
This is the violent organization. Now let's burn it. Molly, go for it before you get arrested. Goodbye, baby. Hey, buddy. Let's stand up for our forefathers that died in World War I, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. Let's stand up against global tyranny.
Come on up here, folks. Don't mind being on TV. Everybody's proud to stand up here.
All right. Now remember.
Okay, this may be on TV. There you go. Okay, on one, two, three, we're going to say, God bless the Republic of the United States, death to the New World Order. 1, 2, 3. God
Bless the Republic of the United States and death to the New World Order. Let's get it one more time. Let's do it one more time. Get it better. All right, ready?
Get a wide shot there.
Tell us what we're saying, Jeff.
God bless you, the Republic, and to the United States and death to the New World Order.
1, 2, 3. God bless the Republic and the United States and death to the New World Order. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much, folks. I think that's going to go ahead and wind it up here to tell us.
Hey, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock, big gun rally. The registering the guns start next month with Brady Phase 2. Brady Phase 3 is a waiting period for ammunition.
Don't forget about the conference tomorrow, Downside Government Conference.